Breaking news: Nigerians, court fines FG 100 million for violation of Emefiele's rights. My country people, this is serious. Godwin Emefiele approached the court, complained of a violation of his human rights by the federal government. The court in turn have fined the Nigerian government 100 million naira for the violation of the rights of the former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele. Let's find out more as we hit the news. But if you're joining us for the first time, you're very much welcome. I sincerely appreciate your presence. Kindly subscribe and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, a federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has slammed a sum of 100 million fine against the federal government and the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over the detention of the former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, without trial. The former CBN governor had filed a fundamental human rights suit following his prolonged detention in the custody of the Department of State Service. Emefiele prayed the court to order the respondents to pay him 1 billion damages and to restrain them from further arresting and detaining him. However, the judgment was given on Monday, declaring the prolonged detention of Godwin Emefiele without trial as a flagrant violation of his fundamental human rights. The court also restrained the federal government and its agents from rearresting or detaining Emefiele without an order of the court. Well, my country people, this is going to be very, very interesting. You see, this Godwin Emefiele's case is quite complicated. Yes, it is. It was reported earlier that a special investigator on management of the CBN under Emefiele reviewed how Emefiele lodged huge amounts of money in fixed deposits in the United Kingdom banks alone without authorization, without due process, without due authorization. The special investigator on the CBN and the related entities, Jim Obazi, in the report had revealed that Emefiele also illegally lodged billions of naira into no fewer than 593 bank accounts in the United States, in China, including the United Kingdom, without approval of the Apex Bank's Board of Directors and the CBN Investment Committee. It was reported that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, in a later dated July 28, 2023, named Obazi, a former executive secretary of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, as the CBN special investigator. And Emefiele, who was held in Kuje Custodial Center until the report of his release on Friday, is being prosecuted on 6 counts bordering on fraud. But then he was not able to perfect the 3 million naira bail granted to him by the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory on November 22nd. And we also know that Emefiele awarded a 61.5 billion for the printing of the ill-fated new naira notes to the United Kingdom, to a United Kingdom company, the Lari, in flagrant violation of the former President Muhammad Buhari's directives that it should be given to a domestic firm. And yes, a lot of charges, a lot of allegations against Godwin Emefiele. But at this point, Godwin Emefiele has decried of abuse of his fundamental human rights. According to Godwin Emefiele, irrespective of the fact that, yes, he was involved in scandal, embezzlement, corruption and all of that, he still have a right to his human rights. He's still, he's still human. And as such, there are some laws that guide the human rights and all of that. But the EFCC, abused that right by detaining him illegally without trial from the courts, without charging him to court and all of that. So recently, the EFCC had to appeal against this declaration by the court. Yes, my country people, this fine that has been granted by the courts to the federal government and the EFCC. The EFCC in turn had to appeal to this judgment by the courts. Yes, my country people. I know a lot of people will say, Emefiele did a lot of things. Emefiele, really put Nigerians into suffering, into hardship. So as such, he shouldn't even complain of the abuse of his human rights, because he abused a lot of Nigerians' human rights back then during the the cash crunch and the cash scarcity. But then, my country people, everyone has a fundamental human right. And then Emefiele is a learned person, and he felt abused, that the fact that the EFCC treated him like a criminal and they abused him, detained him illegally. And even when the courts had said, okay, that they would grant him bail. We saw the video that trended, I think that was last year, when Emefiele went to court, and when he came out, the DSS operatives and the prison officers, they were fighting to get a hold on Emefiele. They were fighting to get the custody of Emefiele. Now, that really caused a lot of controversies, and people were, talking and reacting to this issue. So Emefiele now has decided to, to charge the federal government that they should pay for damages, And Emefiele also prayed to the court to order the respondents to pay him this money and to restrain them from further arresting him. That's the EFCC, to restrain them from further arresting him or detaining him. So for the EFCC to go ahead and rearrest Godwin Emefiele, they would have to go to the courts to get a court order to arrest Emefiele. If not, there won't be any arrest on Godwin Emefiele. So if there's any charges against Emefiele from now henceforth, and if the EFCC had to call him for arrests, or the DSS or any security agencies, they would have to go to the court to get a court order before they can arrest him. And anything short of that would be an illegal arrest, and there would be consequences. And that is the final decision of the court on the federal government and the EFCC in Godwin Emefiele's case. So guys, what are your thoughts on this issue? But then Nigerians have reacted. Godwin Emefiele has no single right to violate Nigerians' fundamental human rights during the money swap. May God continue to punish that judge and Emefiele one time. Okay, please, the judge that gave such judgments should be sacked from this useless fine. The next person said, even Emefiele himself disobeyed court order, but the Nigerian government, they cannot obey court order. What right does he have while facing criminal accusation? EFCC detained him because investigation is going on over his issue. So he should remain in that custody until proven otherwise. Most times the court are the most problems that encourage politicians to loot Nigerians' treasury after they go to buy justice from the courts. Okay guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.